Impact of social media on mental health.
Social media tends to form an echo chamber. Suppose I have gone through a heartbreak. I'll be interacting or engaging with certain content. So now the social media algorithm picks it up and that will be amplified.
Sir, what is brain fog and how to get rid of it?
Don't brainlessly scroll through reels.
बहुत सारे सेलिब्रिटीज भी जिस चीज़ के बारे में बात करते हैं वो बात करते हैं डिप्रेशन की, एंजाइटी की। पैसा है, फेम है, सब कुछ है, फिर भी सेलिब्रिटीज इससे सफ़र करते हैं। What is the reason behind it?
Maybe I'm not allowed to disclose exactly, but I have dealt with a lot of top level athletes who go through a lot of mental health issues. I meet people who have survivors of sexual abuse, who have been abused by their own family members.
What is anxiety?
Like each notification that you get, it gives you dopamine hit. Every app out there is trying to fight for your sleep time, protect it with all costs.
There are lots of suicides in doctors as well as a number of cardiac arrests in doctors.
No one can have a worse lifestyle than a resident doctor.
ऐसा कोई केस सिनेरियो जो आप डिस्कस करना चाहें, impact of social media on kids?
People must have seen the TV series Adolescence on Netflix, and it was very shocking for me to see a similar case in India.
So hi, आज हम बात करेंगे ह्यूमन माइंड के बारे में। ह्यूमन माइंड के बारे में बिकॉज थेरेपी इज़ एक्सपेंसिव बट पॉडकास्ट इज़ फ्री। आज मैं अलाउड हूँ ओवर थिंक करने के लिए बिकॉज मेरे साथ एक साइकेट्रिस्ट है। आज हम बात करेंगे मोबाइल एडिक्शन के बारे में, चाय के एडिक्शन के बारे में, सोशल मीडिया के बारे में, एंजाइटी क्या होता है, डिप्रेशन क्या होता है एंड और बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स। Today we have with us Dr. Chaitanya. He is an MD psychiatrist from AIMS New Delhi. Welcome Dr. Chaitanya.
Thank you, Dr. Open.
जेनजी से जब मैं क्वेश्चंस पूछता हूँ कि अगर आपको साइकियाट्रिस्ट से कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना होगा तो वो क्या पूछेंगे, तो उनके दिमाग में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं। उनका सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन था कि सर व्हाट इज ब्रेन फॉग, ब्रेन फॉग क्या होता है एंड हाउ टू गेट रिड ऑफ इट।
First of all, I love Gen Zs. I think this generation is like actually bringing the change. You know, like they are bold, they take care of themselves, they are unapologetic about it, they are assertive, and they do have some negative points as well. But I think as a whole, this generation is changing a lot. Okay, I think brain fog is a very common phenomena that everyone experiences. So it's like it could be because of overwork, overstimulation, wherein your brain is not able to process the information that it's getting. So if I have to give a very simple explanation, yeah, a very crude analogy, it's like suppose there's a computer tab which you're working on, and if there are multiple tabs open, you know, so then the computer goes off on a hang, it gets hanged basically, you know, because the processor is overstimulated, yeah, it is overloaded with many tabs. Same thing happens with our brain as well. So what happens is we are constantly thinking of something in the past, कि मैंने उसको ठीक से किया कि नहीं, वो क्या हुआ था. Then there's also something that's going on in the present which troubles us. Then there's also some things which we are thinking about of the future. या आगे जाके ये करना है या फिर अभी घर जाके इसको ये करना है. So when there are multiple tabs which are open in our system, the CPU tends to get overwhelmed, and that leads to brain fog, wherein हमको कुछ समझ भी नहीं आता है कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या करना है. So there's a decision paralysis of sorts.
इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट फ्यूचर तो एक टर्म आता है प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन, कि हम अपना काम को कल के लिए टाल देते हैं जबकि हमें पता है कि वो उसका एक नेगेटिव इन्फ्लुएंस हमारे ऊपर होगा। तो इसको कैसे फिक्स किया जा सकता है, इसके लिए हमें क्या क्या चीज़ों के बारे में ध्यान रखना होता है?
There are no easy fixes. Like I can't give you one word of advice that will, like, you know, work universally for all people. But there are certain ways that you can deal with procrastination. So first thing would be to identify where it is coming from. So one of the common things that leads to procrastination is a lack of confidence in the thing that you're doing. The second thing would also be because, you know, there's a tendency of us to become perfectionists. अब मुझे सोच रहा हूँ अभी मुझे कुछ पढ़ाई करना है, तो मैं सोचूंगा यार पहले अपने रूम को साफ कर लेता हूँ, या फिर मैं कुछ और कर लेता हूँ ताकि इसको मैं परफेक्टली कर पाऊँ, कल पूरा दिन इस पर मैं परफेक्टली कर पाऊँगा. या फिर सपोज आई हैव अ वीडियो विच आई हैव टू मेक, तो आई बी लाइक कि इसको कल मैं बैठ के अच्छे से स्टार्ट करूँगा. एंड आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इट हैपेंस इवन इन अ प्रीजी प्रेप ऑल्सो, ना, कि इसको मैं सुबह से मतलब पूरी तरह से बेसिक से उसको कवर करने की कोशिश करूँगा. सो दैट परफेक्शनिज्म इज ऑफन टाइम्स what causes procrastination as well. So I think accepting the fact that, you know, we are not going to be perfect and just starting with it is one of the ways that has helped me personally with procrastination, wherein I feel कि अगर ठीक से नहीं भी हो रहा है तब भी ठीक है, it's not a big deal, let me start with it and then figure out as things go on. And the second thing that I have observed in my personal life as well is compartmentalization of the work. So instead of thinking of the work as a continuous entity, which often seems monumental, then you feel this is unconquerable. We break that down into different smaller parts. कि जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कुछ स्क्रिप्ट लिखना है, तो आई जस्ट ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग का एक दिन या एक सेशन, देन just writing about it is one session, editing that would be the other session. So then if you break down things, then they become more conquerable even mentally, है ना? So that's one way where you can overcome procrastination.
So I think a simple quote that states, do what is required, then do what is possible, and eventually you'll turn out doing the impossible. So I think start slowly, do it in a regular manner, and then ensure कि वो आपका काम जो है उसको आप कर सके. I think that also helps out.
That perfectly sums it up.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. Nike. Yes. So अब हम बात करते हैं एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक की, जिसके बारे में हम इवेंचुअली जाने या अनजाने में हम काफ़ी देर से डिस्कस ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं. वो है सोशल मीडिया. सो सोशल मीडिया आई थिंक इज़ इनएविटेबल. हम सोशल मीडिया काफ़ी ज़्यादा यूज़ करते हैं. इसका रिलेशनशिप्स पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है?
Yes, as you said, I think social media is a reality of this generation. There's no going back now. And it impacts almost all domains of our life. Let's talk about the general impacts that it has on our day-to-day activities. So the amount of screen time that we give on an average it's around 2 hours. And in some cases, it's much more than that as well. So this is important. You are what you consume. Like the food that you consume dictates the type of body that you have, and the kind of content that you consume dictates the thought processes that you have. So be very wary of what you consume. Okay? And I have seen many relationships being destroyed because of social media. I think the most common culprit is the comparison that we do. So what happens is, oftentimes on social media, there's a portrayal of a healthy relationship. There is a portrayal of a couple in a particular light. They don't show the bad things that go on in the relationship. They don't show the ugly fights that they have in the secret of, in the closed confines of their room. They don't show the constant arguments, quarrels that go on. So they portray the best versions of their relationship on social media. It might be them having a fun time together. It might be them going on exotic trips together. Going to exclusive cafes, experiencing new things together, which is all good. But what happens is there's a skewed perception, a skewed portrayal of their life, which is very much unrealistic. So what happens to the common viewer is that he's assuming that their life is so perfect, and whatever is being portrayed is the only thing that is going on in their life. The other side of the coin is not shown often. So then, as humans, we are very innately comparative. So then we start comparing those things, the portrayals of different other couples that we see, and we start comparing that to our reality. And in our reality, we see the dualism. There are good days, there are bad days, there are good interactions, there are bad interactions, and then our mind subconsciously gravitates towards the negative dynamics of the relationship, of our relationship. So then those are highlighted. So this is called the magnification bias of our brain. So then what happens? There's a comparison. Then there is magnification of the negatives in our relationship, and then that leads to relationship breakdowns, and they end up either in my office or an office of a divorce lawyer, which is sad.
And what is the impact of social media on kids? ऐसा कोई case scenario जो आप discuss करना चाहें, impact of social media on kids?
First of all, kids below 16 years should not be using social media. I think even the social media apps ban them, but there are ways to circumvent it, but those bans are there for a reason. The main reason is that screen time has a lot of negative impact on a kid's education. This age is where you gain knowledge, where you gain experiences, where you learn things. And if you're doom scrolling on Instagram for like 2-3 hours, that's a waste of time, precious time. The other thing is, kids are more susceptible to advice from the so-called influencers, and even a single wrong advice can have a huge impact on kids. So they can be following the wrong people, and that fuels hatred, fuels rage in them, And this is one of the reasons why I became an influencer on social media as well. So I think people must have seen the TV series Adolescence on Netflix. They show the life of a adolescent who has been influenced by the manosphere culture or the alpha male red pill culture, and then it drives him into murdering one of his classmates. And it was very shocking for me to see a similar case in India, in where we practice. Thankfully, things hadn't gone to that extent wherein he had killed someone, but the hatred towards women, the hatred towards all of these things, the ideas of masculinity in his mind, which were obviously toxic, and all of these things gave me a reality check. The depth of misinformation that is present on social media and how it influences these young minds. So that was the reason why I joined social media, so that I can be one of the positive influencers, so that I can give some information which is.
So I think already addressed, but would you like to summarize the impact of social media on mental health?
Social media tends to form an echo chamber. Now, suppose I went through a bad time. Suppose I have gone through a heartbreak. So I'll be seeing some views. I'll be interacting or engaging with certain content which is directed towards that. So now the social media algorithm picks it up, and that will be amplified. I'll be shown more of those things. So I'll be, seeing more of those things. So that loop is kind of endless. So I'm sad. I'm watching sad videos. I'm watching videos about heartbreak, about ठुकरा के मेरा प्यार मेरा इंतकाम देखेगी या something along those lines. So what happens is then you can't get out of that loop. So once you're stuck in that, it forms an echo chamber which is like impenetrable. So even if I give you a thought कि नहीं यार, like just a break in relationship doesn't mean it's an end of life. You can you have other things to explore also. Yeah, suppose I failed in an exam. So नहीं यार ठीक है, like life moves on, like it's not a big deal. Accepting that also becomes very difficult because you're surrounded with that echo chamber. So one thing is how social media impacts our mental health is by blocking our thoughts or blocking opinions of a different kind, because it forms like a barrier, echo chamber basically. So that's one way. The second way would be by comparison. Body dysmorphia is a real thing, and social media amplifies it to the T. So what happens is you see yourself in the mirror every day. Then you see someone of your age on social media, and they have like a chiseled jawline, they have like perfect skin, perfect hair, they have everything going for them. So then you start feeling bad about yourself. Like you don't feel confident about yourself. It erodes away your personality, and you start mimicking others' personality. So then the essence of you as a person is dissolved, is diluted, because there's no satisfaction with yourself.
So हमने काफी बात करी स्क्रीन टाइम के बारे में. So what is your recommendation? What should be an ideal screen time? Ideal screen time क्या होता है? कितना होना चाहिए, especially for kids?
Yes. So I would like to compare it with a food disorder, like it's an eating disorder, which is called grazing, wherein you're, अभी जैसे मुझे 5 मिनट मिल गया तो मैंने सोशल मीडिया यूज़ करना शुरू कर लिया, या फिर हम लिफ्ट में जा रहा हूँ सोशल मीडिया यूज़ करना शुरू कर दिया, या फिर मैं पढ़ाई करके ब्रेक ले रहा हूँ एंड ब्रेक के टाइम में सोशल मीडिया यूज़ करना शुरू कर दिया. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज द स्क्रीन टाइम इज नॉट एन ब्लॉक. द स्क्रीन टाइम इज ऑफन स्प्रेड आउट इन दिस माइक्रो breaks that we take, and if you extend that throughout the day and if you condense it easily surpasses like 1 to 2 hours easily, like on an average.
I think वो आप कम
ज़्यादा
बता रहे हो, कम ही बता रहे हो, 2 hours तो.
या ये तो शायद मैं खुद का बता रहा हूँ.
अपना बता रहे हो, but I think on an average लोग आजकल 4 to 6 hours minimum spend कर रहे हैं.
एंड हम पता भी नहीं चलता कि स्पेंड हो गया. अभी मैंने कुछ रील से स्टार्ट किया अभी. लाइक लेट मी आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन, लाइक व्हाट्स द थर्ड रील दैट यू वॉच टुडे?
Something related to cricket maybe.
Most people maybe don't even know that, है ना. बस रील देख लिया और निकल गए, बट दैट टाइम दैट यू हैव स्पेंट while during due course of watching it, like that's never going to come back, and most of the information that you get is like brain dead doom scrolling information, like you don't get any value out of it. Okay, so that is number one. कि social media is like, don't brainlessly scroll through reels. That's the number one thing. The second thing is कि there is no recommended screen time for any age group. It's all based on one it's more tailor-made recommendation. But the overarching message would be don't be a grazer, है ना, कि 5 मिनट मिल गया तो मैंने ये ले लिया, सोशल मीडिया ब्रेक ले लिया, पढ़ाई के बीच में ब्रेक ले लिया. You can fix a time, like let it be 45 minutes का या फिर 1 hour का, where you watch social media, you watch YouTube. Like that is still okay, but don't be doing it mindlessly कि मोबाइल खोलते ही पहले वो खोल रहा, पता भी नहीं चला कि क्यों खोला है ना. So don't do that.
A very important message. And I think हम लूप की बात करते हैं तो एक लूप जो ऑटोमेटिकली हम सबका आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं फॉर्म हो गया है, वो एक लूप सोशल मीडिया ने जो बनाया है कि हम किसी भी अच्छी चीज़ को देखते हैं, हम उसका फ़ोटो खींचना चाहते हैं, फ़ोटो खींचने के बाद हम उसको एडिट करते हैं, एडिट करने के बाद हम उसको पोस्ट करते हैं, पोस्ट करने के बाद हम उसमें एक गाना लगाते हैं, और गाना लगाने के बाद हम वेट करते हैं लाइक्स का और कमेंट्स का. आई थिंक ये एक ऑटोमेटिक रील, ऑटोमेटिक लूप जो हमारा बन चुका है. हाउ टू ब्रेक दैट पर्टिकुलर चेन, इस चेन को हमें कैसे ब्रेक करना चाहिए?
This is a very, very, very important topic, and I think most of the content creators might be able to relate to that. So there's a lot of preoccupation with each and every step of generating content. अभी मैंने कुछ फोटो देखा, उसका फोटो क्लिक करने से लेके वीडियो एडिटिंग, रील्स या फिर म्यूजिक जैसा आपने बताया, देन उसके बाद पोस्ट करने के बाद सबसे बड़ा आता है कि कितने लाइक्स आ रहे हैं चेक करना, कितने कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं चेक करना. So all of that gives a dopamine hit. Like each notification that you get, it gives you dopamine hit, है ना, कि इसने ऐसे लाइक किया, अरे मतलब मेरे को मेरा क्रश है तो उसने लाइक किया, अरे वाह, या फिर उसने कमेंट किया, अरे वाह, इतने सारे शेयर्स आ गए. सो वी नीड टू, नंबर वन, फॉर आवर ओन मेंटल हेल्थ, फॉर आवर ओन पीस ऑफ माइंड, वी नीड टू काइंड ऑफ separate the two, the result and the outcome जो भी है, we have to separate the two. Suppose there's an aesthetic picture, you can click it, you can post it, but maybe don't obsess too much over the way it is perceived by others. Yeah, जो the dopamine hits that you get by constantly checking on the likes and comments. I think you need to take an active step, a more mindful step of avoiding it. ठीक है? So you can post it and then give yourself a break of 3 hours. कि अभी इसको मैं 3 hours के बाद ही चेक करूँगा कि जो भी आया है उसके बाद. So these mental breaks are required, which are self-imposed, so that you can get out of this loop. There's no simple answer to get out of this loop.
So, Dr. Chaitanya, anxiety क्या होता है? What is anxiety?
So the human being, the human experience has many emotions that go on. No? So you can say one of those emotions, I'm just giving this for the layman out there. So one of the emotions that a person experiences in response to something which is harmful, in response to something which is troubling, is anxiety. Okay? For example, there's a deadline to meet. Suppose there's an animal which is chasing me in the caveman days of human beings. Suppose there's a lion which is chasing me. So then my body is geared towards saving myself. So anxiety is one of those emotions that helps us bring some physiological changes in our body, which makes us better capable of handling that stressful situation. Okay? But when it comes to a point wherein it is without any trigger, अभी मुझे एग्जाम नहीं है तब भी आई एम फीलिंग एंशियस, अब मेरे पीछे कोई जानवर नहीं है तब भी आई एम फीलिंग रेसिंग हार्ट, sweaty palms, difficult in breathing, random unwarranted thoughts. So all of these things, when they happen and without any identifiable trigger, and when they happen for a prolonged duration, and which leads to dysfunction in my day-to-day life, and because of this anxiety I'm not able to work, or I'm not able to eat properly, if it is affecting my relationships. So the key word is dysfunction. So all of this, if it's leading to dysfunction, then I would categorize that as an anxiety disorder.
हम एंजाइटी को कम मानते हैं कि एंजाइटी डेंजरस है. व्हेन कैन वी कंसीडर एंजाइटी एज डेंजरस फॉर अस?
So the key word here again would be dysfunction, है ना. अगर आप एंजाइटी की वजह से सोचो आप एक काम पे इफेक्ट कर रहा है वो, है ना, आप काम ठीक से नहीं कर पा रहे हो, आपका काम कुछ भी हो, अगर आप डिसीजंस ठीक क्लैरिटी के साथ नहीं ले पा रहे हो, या फिर आपके डे टू डे वर्किंग जो है वो भी डिफ़िकल्ट हो रहा है, या फिर आपका जो रिलेशनशिप है उसमें दिक्कतें आ रही हैं. सो इफ दैट extends into different domains of your life, then we consider that as problematic, and that requires treatment, a medical professional assistance.
And can someone by themselves identify that they have anxiety attack or a panic attack? क्या वो खुद आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि मुझे अब एंजाइटी अटैक हो रहा है या पैनिक अटैक हो रहा है?
It is always advisable to discuss it. Yes, but those signs are unmissable. है ना, the person who has anxiety very broadly, दो तरीके के उसको सिम्टम्स आते हैं. एक होते हैं हम जिसको हम साइकोलॉजिकल सिम्टम्स बोलते हैं ऑफ एंजाइटी, जो कि हमारे मन में आता है ना. एंड कुछ होते हैं फिजिकल सिम्टम्स ऑफ एंजाइटी या सोमैटिक सिम्टम्स ऑफ एंजाइटी, जो कि हमारे बॉडी दिखाता है. तो जैसे हमारे साइकोलॉजिकल सिम्टम्स हो सकते हैं कि एक्सेसिव थॉट्स, है ना, अनवारंटेड थॉट्स, उसी चीज़ के बारे में बार बार रिपीटेडली थॉट्स आ रहे हैं, मैं कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ फिर भी आ रहे हैं, है ना. द सेकेंड थिंग इज़ कि अगर दिस अ फेयर ऑफ डूम, कि मेरे साथ कुछ बहुत बुरा होने वाला है, डर सा लगना, घबराहट जिसे बोलते हैं, कि जब अभी जब मैं मर जाऊंगा, ऐसा लग रहा है मेरी जान निकल जाएगी अभी. सो दैट फीलिंग, ना, फीलिंग ऑफ बीइंग ऑन द एज, सो दैट्स वन ऑफ द साइकोलॉजिकल सिम्टम्स. देन फिजिकल सिम्टम्स भी होते हैं ना, हमारे बॉडी भी गेट्स geared टुवर्ड्स एंजाइटी सिम्टम्स. फॉर एग्जांपल स्वेटी palms, देन सांस लेने में दिक्कत आना, ऐसा लगना है कि ऑक्सीजन की कमी हो रही है, सांस लेने में दिक्कत आ रही है, धड़कन तेज हो जाना, हाथ पैर कांपने लगना. तो अगर ये सब सिम्टम्स आपको हो रहे हैं एंड आपको लग रहा है कि इस कारण से आप काम नहीं कर पा रहे हो ठीक से, डिस्फंक्शन भी हो रहा है, सो देन आप बोल सकते हो कि शायद आपको एंजाइटी सिम्टम है, जो आप अपने साइकेट्रिस्ट के साथ डिस्कस करके उसको कंफर्म कर सकते हो.
सो इसके साथ साथ बहुत सारे सेलिब्रिटीज भी जिस चीज़ के बारे में बात करते हैं वो बात करते हैं डिप्रेशन की, एंजाइटी की. सो व्हाट इज डिप्रेशन? डिप्रेशन क्या होता है? कब आप किसी पर्सन को, किसी इंडिविजुअल को कहते हैं कि एक डिप्रेस्ड इंडिविजुअल है?
ओके, सो हम इसे मेजर डिप्रेसिव डिसऑर्डर कहते हैं एंड इट इज़ अ मूड डिसऑर्डर, है ना. तो ये जो लो मूड है, अगर ये लो मूड, इफ इट इज परसिस्टेंट एंड परवेजिव, दैट इज अगर ये ऑलमोस्ट थ्रू आउट द डे प्रेजेंट है एंड ये हर सिचुएशन में प्रेजेंट है, तब हम उसको डिप्रेशन कहेंगे. अगर ये 2 वीक से ज़्यादा के लिए अगर प्रेजेंट है, सो परसिस्टेंट परवेसिव लो मूड विच इज प्रेजेंट फॉर मोर देन 2 वीक्स इज डिप्रेशन.
एंड हाउ कैन वी कोप अप विथ इट? क्या क्या रेमेडीज ले सकते हैं या खुद क्या क्या कर सकते हैं डिप्रेशन को कोप अप करने के लिए?
If you're clinically depressed or if you feel that you are clinically depressed, the best thing that you can do is talk about it with a professional. है ना, it could be either a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but do talk about it with a professional. Don't hesitate from seeking help. बाकी जो चीज़ें हैं, है ना, whatever is the root cause for that depression, most of the times it is some environmental trigger. It could not be also, है ना, कुछ लोगों का biological भी होता है. तो अगर उस causative factor को, जो इंटरपर्सनल स्ट्रेसर है, अगर उसको हम एड्रेस कर पाएँ, सो दैट कैन बी वन ऑफ द वेज ऑफ रिजॉल्विंग डिप्रेशन. द अदर इज थ्रू मेडिकेशंस.
सो डॉक्टर चैतन्य, एडिक्शन क्या होता है? व्हाट इज एडिक्शन?
If I have to put it in a very basic term, addiction would be any activity which you compulsively seek, despite being a negative consequence of that activity, है ना. So then that would be considered as an addiction. Like, this is a very laymanish, simple breakdown of it. And this addiction doesn't have to be the things that हम नॉर्मली जो सुनते हैं, है कि जैसे अल्कोहल का एडिक्शन है, तो टोबैको का एडिक्शन है. इट कैन ऑल्सो बी ऑन अ सिंपल थिंग्स दैट वी डू ऑन अ बेसिक डे टू डे लाइफ. फॉर एग्जांपल, लोगों को स्क्रीन टाइम का एडिक्शन होता है, इंटरनेट एडिक्शन एक इज अ रियल थिंग. देन सम पीपल are also addicted to other behavioral things, like there's a compulsive sexual behavioral disorder. So addiction can be varied. It can be either geared towards a substance or towards a behavior.
तो कंसिडरिंग आज का जो सिनेरियो है, आज के सिनेरियो में मेजॉरिटी लोग फिटनेस को सिर्फ जिमिंग तक ही कंसिडर करते हैं. आपका इसके बारे में क्या टेक है?
See, the human body is an amazing machine. Like, it is capable of doing so many things. Like, I can run, I can swim, I can climb, then I can even lift weights, you know. So why do you want to limit yourself to a single thing, you know? So that should not be the goal of fitness. The goal of fitness, unless you're a professional, should be to keep your body in movement, you know, because movement is medicine, you know? And that movement can take many forms. It can take the form of yoga, it can take the form of dancing, it can take the form of walking, it can take the form of running, it can take the form of lifting weights. So you choose which kind of movement you want, which kind of movement you resonate with, and if you're able to mix and match multiple of them, even better.
सो इसी से क्वेश्चन भी आता है कि बहुत सारे लोगों का हम आजकल देखते हैं कि जिमिंग जब वो स्टार्ट करते हो एकदम से इंटेंसिव एक्सरसाइजेस स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। बहुत सारे कार्डियक अरेस्ट हम जिम्स में देख रहे हैं। आपके हिसाब से क्या प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो करना चाहिए?
हाँ, ये बहुत ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन अगर आ गया कि आज से जैसे मैं स्टार्ट करूँगा फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एंड आई थिंक इट हैपेंस अराउंड न्यू ईयर, कि न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशन ले लिया मैंने. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि बॉडी इज नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड टू हैंडल दैट अमाउंट ऑफ स्ट्रेनस एक्सरसाइज, especially the most important muscle of your body, which is your heart, है ना. तो we need to gear it up, है ना. We need to give it some time to accommodate, to adapt to the pressures that it is going to face. So don't start off all at once with all vigor and all motivation. Start off slow. It can be with just with walking. It can be just with doing body weight exercises, है ना. Doing exercises at a slower tempo, not too rigorous. If you're an absolute beginner, that is. So give your body some time to adapt, give your body some time to assimilate the changes. Then your heart also will be able to perform better. As time progresses, you'll be able to do better.
आई थिंक एक सच कम्युनिटी जो सबसे ज़्यादा इन सब चीज़ों से दूर रहती है वो आई थिंक हमारी डॉक्टर्स कम्युनिटी है। हम अपनी पेशेंट्स को ट्रीट करने में इतना ज़्यादा बिजी रहते हैं, इतना ज़्यादा ऑक्यूपाइड रहते हैं कि हम अपनी हेल्थ के बारे में उतना ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे पाते, बीट फिजिकल हेल्थ और मेंटल हेल्थ। इसीलिए आप देख रहे हैं आजकल कि देर आर लॉट्स ऑफ सुसाइड्स इन डॉक्टर्स as well as a number of cardiac arrests in doctors. So what is your take and what is your advice to the doctors community?
Dr. Upin, you touched a nerve here. Like, this is probably one of the main reasons why I am on social media promoting health to all of my fraternity. Like, let me say this again. The so-called healthcare staff, the healthcare workers, they have the worst lifestyle ever. And I think no one can have a worse lifestyle than a resident doctor. See, we are the people who peddle health and dispense wellness to the entire society. And in this process, we forget to take care of ourselves. We don't even practice what we are preaching, what we are reading. You know? So what happens is, the job itself is very stressful. We are dealing with sick patients in and out, and if you're in branches like emergency medicine, then you're always on the edge. You know? You're always very busy with treating patients. The second thing is, there is erratic duty hours. Like, the duty hours are so erratic, then you are not able to fix your sleep, you're not able to have meals on time. So it is very easy for me to say all of these things, but the reality of a resident's life or the reality of a doctor's life is much, much different. Yeah? And this needs to be changed. And I have seen doctors like resort to smoking to cope up with all of the stressors which they go through in their career. You know? And we read about smoking, we read about the harmful impacts that it can have. Like, we don't need more information about it. We already have all of those informations. It is how much we're able to apply these informations in our day-to-day life which matters. You know? And doctors having a worse lifestyle has also been recognized by IMA. So it has released a recent data wherein the average life expectancy of a doctor, Indian doctor, is around 59 years. It is like almost 10 years less than the average life expectancy of an Indian. So where are we headed towards? So the healthcare staff, they need to take care of their health more seriously. And let's talk about the suicides that go on in doctors. Mental health is neglected, and oftentimes being overworked, being exhausted, being overwhelmed with all of these patient care, academics, and all that is taken as a badge of honor, which is not. So we need to have that mindset change as well, and just checking in with our own colleagues. You know, कि आज कैसा है? How are you feeling? What are you doing? Like, how's life treating you? Just checking in on our colleagues, I think, is a way to start, and ending the toxicity cycle that goes on in medical colleges. हमने तो झेला है, तुम भी झेलो. हमने तो किया है, तुम भी करो. Night duties पे night duties करा रहे हैं junior से. This thing needs to stop. Like, that's the only way we can come out of this toxic cycle of, destroying our own fraternity.
So, what is bipolar disorder? I think हनी सिंह ने अभी बहुत recently इसके बारे में बात की है. Bipolar disorder क्या होता है?
After that, there's a lot of awareness about this condition, but I think still people don't know much about it. So it is a mood disorder. So it's called bipolar affective disorder, or BPAD. So what happens is, you can consider it as there are two poles of human mood, है ना. एक पोल है जो कि डिप्रेशन की तरफ है, लो मूड की तरफ है, जिसमें हमें कोई भी चीज़ करने में मज़ा नहीं आता है ना. हमको टायर्डनेस सी फील होती है, खाने पीने में भी मज़ा नहीं आता है, लोगों से बातचीत करने को हमको मन नहीं करता है, एंड थॉट्स आर यूजुअली नेगेटिव कि यार मैं तो कोई काम का नहीं हूँ. थॉट्स ऑफ वर्थलेसनेस, हेल्पलेसनेस, होपलेसनेस, इवन सुसाइडल आइडिएशंस एज वेल. तो वो एक पोल है. जो दूसरा पोल है हमारे ह्यूमन मूड का, जो एक्सट्रीम में होता है, उसको हम मेनिया कहते हैं, या हिंदी में हम उसको तेजी कहते हैं. तो इसमें क्या होता है, उसका एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट रहता है कि वेर इन द पेशेंट उसको लगता है कि सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, उसके अंदर बहुत एनर्जी है, उसको हर चीज़ में मज़ा आता है, खाने पीने में उसको बहुत ज़्यादा खाने पीने का मन करता है, एंड उसको लोगों से बातचीत करने में बहुत ज़्यादा मन लगता है, उसको रोकना मुश्किल हो जाता है. इनफैक्ट द सेकेंड थिंग इज़ कि दिस ओवर शेयरिंग. देन जो उसके थॉट प्रोसेस में भी चीज़ें ऐसे ही चलती हैं कि देर आर आइडियाज ऑफ ग्रैंडियोसिटी. ही कंसिडर्स हिमसेल्फ, ही हैज़ इन्फ्लेटेड सेल्फ एस्टीम, and then there are delusions, there are hallucinations as well in that spectrum. So when both of these poles of human mood are present in a person, and oftentimes they take a cyclical path wherein उसको एक phase depression का रहेगा, एक phase mania का रहेगा. So then we consider that as a bipolar disorder. तो दो poles हैं हमारे human experience के या human mood के.
सेलिना गोमेज, कैंडल जेनर, बिली आइलिश, ड्वेन जॉनसन, दीपिका पादुकोण, इवन अनुष्का शर्मा, बहुत सारे सेलिब्रिटीज़ ने अब मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में बात की है. उन्होंने क्या क्या सफ़र किया है. पैसा है, फेम है, सब कुछ है, फिर भी सेलिब्रिटीज़ इससे सफ़र करते हैं. व्हाट इज़ द रीज़न बिहाइंड इट?
I think this is a misconception, है ना. Nothing makes you immune to having a mental illness. It can happen to anyone. But what happens oftentimes is कि people are able to identify that they have a mental illness only when they have everything and still they feel कि they feel they're low. They still feel helpless, hopeless. So then it becomes very alarming even for others कि इसके पास तो सब कुछ है, फिर इसने क्यों ऐसा किया. But what we often forget is that the incidence, the prevalence of mental health illness is much more in the rural setups as well. So जो farmers हैं, जिनके पास बहुत कम पैसा रहता है, जिनके पास बहुत कम चीज़ें रहती हैं, they also go through a lot of mental health issues, है ना. You must have heard of the farmers suicide rate, है ना. But oftentimes these things are not highlighted because हमें लगता है कि यार उनके लाइफ में तो वैसे भी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, तो डिप्रेशन तो होगा ही. But this is what mental health is like a great equalizer. It doesn't discriminate. किसी को भी हो सकता है, या तुम मतलब बहुत अमीर आदमी हो, you're the CEO of a company, you can still have mental illness, or you're like a homeless person who's like, ridden with poverty, you can still have a mental illness. So there is no discrimination or bar.
Glenn Maxwell, Jonathan Drott, Ben Stokes, these are reputed athletes, but they also faced mental health issues. So athletics and mental health, इसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Oh, this is a very important topic. And oftentimes we think that people who are very athletic, everything is going good in their lives, but that's not the case. And I have dealt with many top level athletes. Maybe I'm not allowed to disclose exactly, but I have dealt with a lot of top level athletes who go through a lot of mental health issues. And the main reason behind that is the performance pressure. They have to perform, their body needs to perform on that day, whenever they have their competition, right? So there are not retakes, as we say. So, and that amount of pressure, and they are constantly on the spotlight. Their actions, their social media usage, everything is scrutinized by the society. So that leads to a lot of impact on their mental health. So some of them are able to cope up with these pressures in a better way. Some of them are not able to cope up with these pressures in a good way. So that leads to a lot of them breaking down, having mental health breakdowns. They also need a break. They're also humans. They are elite athletes, but they also have day-to-day lifestyle relationship problems as well, right? They have other domains of their life which can be affected, and all of them encroach into their athletic performance. So being an athlete myself and dealing with many athletes, I think this is the most untapped and the most important area of improving one's athletic performance is the mental game. the mindset that a person can develop.
I think that's the reason abhi काफी mental coaches are available and are a part of a team
Yep.
of our team.
Yes.
एक बहुत ही सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है जो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा. How a psychiatrist maintains his sanity because he deals with a lot of psychiatric patients?
This is a very interesting question. And I think this is one of the reasons why most people are afraid of taking psychiatry as a branch as well. है ना, उनको लगता है कि यार मैं खुद भी ऐसा तो ना हो जाऊंगा. So this is where the concept of a PPE comes in, है ना, personal protective equipment. So just like अभी मुझे सोच लो कोविड वार्ड में जाना है या फिर किसी भी इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज वार्ड में जाना है, तो आई विल वेयर अ पर्सनल प्रोटेक्टिव इक्विपमेंट, राइट. मैं ऐसे ही अनआर्म्ड अनइन्फॉर्म्ड तो नहीं जाऊंगा. आई विल वेयर अ प्रॉपर मास्क, जो भी प्रिकॉशंस लेना है, हैंड सैनिटाइज करना, ना गॉगल्स पहनना, जो भी है उसको मैं सारे प्रिकॉशंस और प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो करके ही एंटर करूंगा. द सेम थिंग गोज विद द साइकेट्रिस्ट एज वेल. सो वी आर वेरी एम्पैथेटिक, we have a lot of emotional intelligence as well as psychiatrists because we deal with these emotions on a day-to-day basis. But at the same time, it is very important for us to protect our own psyche, our own emotions from being affected through others emotions. Okay? So everyone has a different PPE. The way I protect my mental health is through all of my routine, is through my activities. I keep myself engaged. I practice mindfulness. I do breath work. I have relaxation techniques which I do at the end of the day. Then I'm able to separate, diffusion of my work and my day-to-day life. And I am very strict about this. I don't allow them to intermingle. I don't carry whatever I have heard or whatever I have experienced in the ward to my home. Okay? And this is actually a very important topic because like emotions are very draining in themselves. For example, I meet people who are survivors of sexual abuse, who have been abused by their own family members, and people who have been gone through a lot of hardships as the worst things that a human can experience. We hear all of these stories personally, and experiencing those things vicariously leaves a huge impact. And that is inevitable. As a human being, as an empathetic human being, it will impact you. But then at the end of the day, you need to have some mechanisms which help you bounce back into reality of your own life as well.
So, if everyone around me is losing it and I'm staying calm, am I the problem?
Could be. So here, what is normal?
Yes.
So normal is considered as an average of the population. So if you feel you are thoda sa hatke, people might term you as a problematic person or a disordered person. But then if that's something that resonates with your feeling, resonates with your thinking, and then it shouldn't be a problem.
5 tips to maintain good mental health.
Okay. So let me make this very, very actionable. I don't want to give elaborate, unmanageable things. Let me give you very 5 actionable points. First thing is your daily routine. You need to have some sort of a framework to your day. You can't be going throughout your day without any aimlessly or without any framework. Second thing is a healthy mind can always be present only in a healthy body. So take care of a physical body as well. Like movement is medicine, as I told. Get some sort of movement into your day-to-day life. Do things which you enjoy. It could be dancing. It could be just listening to music and going out for a walk. It could be anything. But this body is built for movement. है ना, अभी इतने सारे जो मसल्स हैं, एंड अगर आप ब्रेन का एक पार्ट भी देखो जिसे हम मोटर होमुंकुलस कहते हैं, so a huge area of that is dedicated towards movement. So pick up any movement of your choice and do it on a day-to-day basis. Third thing is your sleep. Sleep nowadays is a luxury because like every app out there is trying to fight for your sleep time. है ना, आप रात भर स्क्रॉल कर रहे हो, नाइट में नेटफ्लिक्स मैराथन्स चल रहे हैं. So everyone is like trying to capitalize on your sleep time. Protect it with all costs. Sleep is the new luxury, and sleep is very essential for your day-to-day functioning as well. Okay? And the fourth point would be about your diet. Your body is like a machine, as I told. It's like a luxury car. Treat it the right way. आप अपने फेरारी में आप केरोसिन तो नहीं डालोगे ना, तो अपने बॉडी में क्यों जंक फूड डाल रहे हो? Treat it the right way. Eat whole foods. eat foods which are nourishing to your body. Okay? And the last thing would be with nature. Nature is like, we call it Mother Nature for a reason, because she's very calm, she's very welcoming. So the more time you spend outdoors, the more time you're able to spend off, taking breaks, exploring different facets of Mother Nature. For example, it could be the snowy peaks of Kashmir, it could be the rolling hills of Arunachal, it could be the sandbanks of, the coastal cities in India. So taking breaks, being with nature, enjoying it, appreciating it, and keeping a bit of mindfulness into our day-to-day lives. I think these are my tips for improving your mental health.